It's time to get to flashing people. No, not like that. Get your minds out of the gutter, all right? We're talking about the Quicksilver or flash effect in CyberLink PowerDirector 13 Ultimate. Let's get into it. You need to use a tripod when you do this scene. Basically, what you're going to do is if you want to have people in the scene with you, you'll have a shot with just the people in the scene, and then a shot with you in the scene with the people taking off like you're running, and then a shot with you on the other side or wherever you're going to, like you're stopping from the run. If you're just going to be in the scene by yourself, then you just need a shot of the scene with no movement, nothing going on, and then a shot of you taking off and a shot of you stopping. Do that all with a tripod so that nothing else moves except the people in the scene. All right. Now about the timeline. I already got my clips down in the timeline, and I got it set up whereas the talent is taking off, and then I split the clip, and then I have a scene in the middle with nothing going on, as you can see. Then I have split the clip again where the individual stops his run. All right. Then I do the same thing again. You can do it once, twice, 3 times, as many times as you want, but you got to have the clip in the middle with nothing going on. Now, about this clip in the middle, we want this clip in the middle to be super short. I have my timeline actually stretched out right now so that it makes all the clips look bigger so you can see what I'm doing. But in all actuality, you want this clip to be small. So if it's a video clip, you want to click on it and then click on trim. Now, because this clip has nothing in it on both sides and all the way through, I'm not really too concerned about anything except the duration. What I did was I made the duration of this clip 15 frames. That is 1/2 a second. And I know that because I have my project set up at 30 frames per second. If you got your project set up at 24 frames per second, then you want to change the duration to 12. And whatever other frame, 60 frames per second, and you want to change it to 30. But you want it to be about 1/2 a second of space so that it seems like the person is moving real fast. All right, so you set up your duration, make sure you set it up to 15 and then click on OK. Now about these clips here, when you get to the position where the individual is about to start his run, you want to take a snapshot of this. I already took all my snapshots. You can see them in here, so I'm not going to take another one. You want to click on the snapshot button and take a snapshot of the individual right when he's taking off, the last frame before they take off. Take a snapshot of that. Usually what it does is saves it in your documents. So go to your documents folder and find that snapshot. Now, once you find that snapshot, you need to remove the background from that snapshot, and I'm going to show you how to do that in Adobe Photoshop CS6. This can also be done in paint.net, which is a free program, or any other photo editor that you have. Let's check it out and see how to remove that background. So I already have the image in Photoshop. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this. I'm going to hit Control and the plus sign to zoom this in. Now I'm going to pick the quick selection tool here. If it's not already set on quick select, you could just hold your left mouse down and it'll let you pick a different one, and you can pick quick select from there. And now I'm going to go over here to this clip and I'm going to right click on this background and I'm going to do duplicate layer. I'm going to call this layer mask this layer, so I know this is the one I'm masking. And now I'm going to hide the background by just clicking on the little eyeball here. Now I'm already set on the quick selection tool, but if you're not, you know where to go. So I'm just going to hold my left mouse down and I'm going to start dragging this out and letting it select pieces that I want. Now keep in mind, you don't have to be perfect with this, and the reason why is because it's going to be all blurry in a second anyway. If you make a mistake like that, just hit the Alt key and then hold the left mouse down, and it'll let you fix any mistakes you make. All right, now I'm going to let go of Alt, and I'm going to finish bringing this out. I'm going to hold Alt down again to get rid of this, get rid of that. Get rid of this middle in here. Like I said, I don't have to be perfect, but I do want it to look good, at least kind of good. All right, I'm good. You know, not really. All right, that's good enough for me, my friends. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little mask tool down here. It says add layer mask. I'm going to click on that, and boom, background's gone. Doesn't look as good as I want it to look, though. Even though it's going to be blurry, I still want to make sure it looks right. You know, at least a little bit better than that with all the jagged edges. So I'm going to hit on Mask Edge up here to refine my mask. I'm going to click on Smart Radius. Turn the radius up a little bit so I can see the jaggedness and what it's going to fix. I'm going to hit Smooth to smooth that out. And that's a lot better. So I'll click OK. And now I'll just do File. Save as, and I'm going to select PNG, and then I can just change the name to whatever I want to and hit save. I'll hit OK, and I'm done with that. We're back. Now that the background's removed, let's get these pictures brought in and get to flashing. I'm going to stop saying that. All right. Let's get to doing the flash Quicksilver effect. All right. So my first picture is my first start blur. So I want to bring this. I'm going to left click it and drag it down. And I want to bring it right when the space happens where there is nothing going on. All right. Because I got to transition from the actual person moving to the picture, and you'll see that when I get to the picture, it just freezes. Now that picture is taking up the whole space. So what we want to do first is we want to add an effect to it. So we're going to go to the effects room. We're going to go down to style, and we're going to go to blur. So I'm going to left click, drag on the blur, and drag it down to this clip. And then I'm going to click on effect. And I'm going to make my blur, it's going to tell me that I want to continue to change the keyframes. Yes, I do. So I'm going to click on OK. And I'm going to go to degree. I want to change the degree of the blur. You can see the blur already taking effect. And I'm going to change mine up to 7. I think 7 is pretty good. I'm going to leave everything else as it is. You can change the gradient if you want to. But I'm going to just leave everything as it is. I'm cool with it the way it is. You make it look how you want it to look. So I'm going to close this out. And now we can see that this picture is actually pretty long. It's 3 seconds is the default. So it's really going over everything. And I don't need the picture over that much. I need this picture to be very short as well, because the longer it stays on the screen, the less it looks like it's actually just him moving real fast. So for this one, there is no trim because it's a photo. You click on duration. When you click on duration, you want to change it to 2 frames. That's real fast, but it's long enough for it to be visible. If you don't think it's visible for long enough, you can change it to 3 frames or 4. I like it at 2. Makes it look like he's really moving fast. So I'm going to click on OK. And now you see, change the duration down. Now I need to add the rest of my photos in here. So I have this one called First Stop Blur. So basically, the photos are each going to be underneath the actual space where there's nothing going on. We got to do a few things to get that done here. So what I'm going to do first is going to add a timeline marker here. So I'm going to left click on my playhead and click on add timeline marker. Matter of fact, let's do this. I'm going to step back 2 frames because I know that I want this to be 2 frames long. I'm going to click on movie and I'm going to step back 2 frames. And now I'm going to left click on my playhead and put add timeline marker and click OK. And I'm going to drag this back to that marker. Now I know that this is going to be 2 frames long, so if I wanted to, I could just click here and then split this clip, because that should mean that the duration of this one is 2 frames long. So I'm going to left click on this one and click on remove. Now if I click on this and click on duration, it better be 2 frames. It is 2 frames because I stepped back 2 frames from where it was and then moved it over. So I'm going to click on OK. Now I'm going to right click on this one and I'm going to go to copy keyframe attributes. The reason why I want to do that, instead of adding the blur and doing everything over again, I can just copy it from this one, right click on this clip of this picture and do paste keyframe attributes. Do OK. And now you see it turns into a blur. Now, you got everything set up. But one thing that I would like to do for this is I like to actually go to where the separation is, where I took the picture at the first time, and step back. Click on movie, of course, once again before you do your frames, and step back 2 frames and split it again, because I want it to look natural as the flow of the movement. If I do just put this picture in where he stopped, the picture of him stopping, it's going to look like he stops and then it blurs. I want it to look natural. So I'm going to split it here. I'm going to click on this little clip I just created. Then I'm going to go to my trash bin. And I'm going to do remove, fill gap, and move all clips so that everything moves over. Now you'll see this flow is going to look much more realistic as I go through. All right. Same thing for this side. I want to go to the beginning of this clip where he stops. And this is where I took the other picture. So I'm going to move to the right 2 frames. I'm going to split this clip here. Then I'm going to click on a little clip that was created. I'm going to do remove by clicking on my trash bin. I'm going to do remove, fill gap, and move all clips. And now the flow from one position to the other will look much more natural. And that's it, peeps. The Flash Quicksilver effect in CyberLink PowerDirector 13 Ultimate. Alright guys, you know the routine. The thumb, the one that's pointed in the upward direction. Click it, like it, live it, love it, hug it. Show the thumb some love. Comments, you know I love comments. So leave your comments below. You got questions? I'll answer them. If I can't answer them, I'll point you in the right direction to get you the help you need. Subscribe. Click on the little button to the side. And if you want some more YouTube love, all you got to do is watch these videos. Watch these videos. You guys know what to do, so get to clicking.